Nigeria stands at a critical crossroads. The calls for restructuring grow louder, while advocates of true federalism insist it is the only way to unlock our nation's full potential. For decades, the tug of war between central power and regional autonomy has shaped politics, economics, and even security. But today, the question is unavoidable: restructuring or true federalism? Which path will steer Nigeria out of crisis and into progress? Joining me to examine this is Charles Jagun, US-based pioneer, AFIMIA World Congress. Good evening. Thank you for joining us on EBS tonight.
Thank you for having me. Just a correction, my name is Charles Jagun, and from Akoko Edu Forum based in the US. Yes.
All right, Charles Jagun. So tell us exactly the difference between restructuring and true federalism in Nigeria's political context.
Thank you. I think, once again, thank you for having me. The first thing is that we have to understand what restructuring is, what true federalism is. Both of them are things that we need, because one is a process and the goal is to have a true federalism. The process emanates because restructuring is reforming an existing system that we think needs some tweaking due to administrative deficiencies of many perceived is not working well. And we now use the term restructuring and true federalism as if they are things that should be separated. No, they should not be separated. Restructuring is the process that will lead to true federalism in our current context, because we already have some loose federalism system that is operational now. What we need is some form of restructuring, trickling with what we have to achieve the true federalism that we quest for. And what are these? What is true federalism? True federalism is fiscal autonomy, constitutional equality among the federation units, some form of minimal influence or interference by the federal might as we have it now. So if we have something like this, through the process of restructuring, as we have like the constitutional review process that is going on now, is an avenue for us to have our say in making what we want to be the true federalism that we aspire to get. So that's the foundation for us to live, that we can build it on.
Okay.
So you will now ask,
giving us the difference.
How can we achieve this? The difference is that, true federalism means all the tenets of federalism as operated in other climates, or in other countries, like you have in the US, for example, in Germany, Austria, India, even Ethiopia. How are they operating their federal system?
All right,
we are bringing a leap from them, then we need to trickle it with our own unique situation in the country.
Okay, because I was going to ask, these two ideas have dominated national conversations for so long, yet without concrete actions. So why has it been so?
Well, this has dominated the political space for a long time, or the national space for a long time, because it's a tool that our elite politicians use for divide and rule to gain power. They use this as a means when electioneering is coming, or when there's election is coming. 2027 is coming now. You will see the sloganeering coming up again that we want true federalism, we want restructuring, but nothing is ever done. If you remember, our president, President Amebola Tinubu, was one of the key proponents of restructuring or true federalism. He's been there for 2 years. How has this happened? Has it happened? Why hasn't it happened? That is the question we must be asking ourselves. That why is it that the proponents of true federalism, when they get to where they have the opportunity to actually do this, they don't do it, they are unable to do it? Is it a systemic problem, or they are just doing it because the system does not allow? One, I think, as I said, it's a tool used by a political elite. And again, the federal might, it is very, the federal power is so, is so powerful that, losing it, many cannot, think about losing it and just giving it away like that. So that's why when they get there, many of them that even proposed it before, they are unable to achieve what they wanted to achieve.
Why can't we separate it? Why can't there be a balance? You said many try to loosen it up, but they can't. Why can't we have a balance? Why the imbalance, the imbalance of power between the federal and state governments?
The challenge is that there's the absence of that political will. The political will is not there. Okay. And many people, many of us, when we restructuring, what comes to the mind is ethnic or regional independence. So these are, we need to build the trust within ourselves for us to even achieve the process of restructuring before we even attain the goal of true federalism. Currently, the National Assembly is amending the Constitution. It's an opportunity for us, for everyone, to make an input. And I'm sure many of us, many communities, even the states, would have written or presented their memorandum. For example, Akoko presented their own memorandum for creation of additional local government, because they feel that, by having this constituent components of the system, development can come to them. Okay. And development can come when we have fiscal autonomy, financial autonomy to a large extent, that we are able to control some of our resources. Like I'll still give an example of Akoko with abundant mineral resources. What are we doing with the mineral resources? Nothing is ever said or done by the people over there about the mineral resources, but you have people coming from outside to tap into the mineral resources, okay, and nothing is being expended there. So if we have the devolution of by the producers of these resources to a large extent, it will think about some form of development that we require, and it will also, if we present it that way, the people will tend to buy the idea, okay, we truly need true federalism, not that some people are just using it as a political tool to advance their political
okay. You talked about yes, Charles Jagun. You talked about people tapping into, like Akoko that you gave us an example. People tapping the mineral resources and not giving back to the people. So now, how can either restructuring or federalism resolve the recurring issues of resource control and revenue allocation that you just spoke about?
Okay, I'll give an example. The government of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu touts itself that they've received more, they are getting more revenue, and this revenue they are being given to, states are getting more revenue, and our own governor, Senator Monday Okpebholo, testified to that he gets more money, so he has more money to spend to do whatever he is doing now in terms of infrastructure, or to do some of the things that were hitherto not done before. So if these our resources, we're able to lay hands on these resources, the communities or where this like the Benue State, Benue has agriculture that they can tap into if they are able to, really see themselves as autonomous in terms of being able to control what they are able to generate, what they are able to produce within their locality. It will, to a large extent, help. I'll give you an example. The last government posted on federal roads. This is federal road. This is not state road. If we have more money being generated by our own state, there's no need to go and be putting the signposts that this is federal road. All roads will be taken care of because of enough resources being generated from our own natural resources. For example, it is almost impossible to move from Benin to Edo North because of poor roads. Not to talk of being from Auchi to Igara to Ibilo there. It is almost impossible.
That has improved anyway.
The resources are not there.
Okay.